Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to look at user interface design, okay, UI design, and particularly we're going to be doing that with Figma. So what is Figma? Figma is actually a design tool, a design and a prototyping tool. So essentially Figma would help you to put your design and your page or app design layout together, okay, before you then get an opportunity to code it up, okay. And it's free, okay, so that's one of the reasons why it's very popular. But aside being free, it's actually a very efficient and useful tool. So but then let's just see what we're going to build today with Figma. So this is the design we're going to build. It's a simple user interface design for user login and registration, okay. So let's come and see the prototype. So this is the initial splash screen or the first screen, okay. So I'll click on get started, and then this is what displays. So this is the registration page, and let me show you the sign-in page. So this is the sign-in page. Let's go back to the registration page, and when a user registers, so this is like a settings page or something like that, okay. So we can go ahead and design things like profile page, activity page, and other page, okay. But we're just going to design these four in this tutorial. So let me go back to the home page, okay. So essentially with Figma you can not just design, you design and prototype your design. So you can link pages together and give your client a kind of feel of how their application or their website is going to be, okay. All right, so let's go and see. Let's get right back. So to get started with Figma, first off, let me open an incognito tab. So basically you just need to come to figma.com, and this is figma.com. So essentially when you get to figma.com, you need to sign up, right? And when you sign up, you can simply just sign up with your Google Mail or your Gmail. That's very easy, or username and email and password is also fine. And when you sign up, basically you'll be able to see a screen that looks like this, okay. It will contain some predefined projects, okay, that come with Figma. So to get started, what you need to do is we're going to click on the plus icon here on the top right. So I'll just click on the plus icon, and this is a blank page or a layout page we see when we click on that icon. So this is like a workstation on Figma. Now one of the first things you need to do, so first off, let me just rename this. So I'll just click here and say login UI design, okay. All right, so this is fine. Now the first thing you need to do, right, when you want to start building a project is you need to set like a frame for that project, okay. So if you are building like a website, you need to set a dimension for a website, or if you're building like an app design, then you need to start designing on something that looks like a mobile phone, okay. So but before then, let's just talk about what these things do. So just for the people that are encountering Figma for maybe the first time, beginners or stuff like that. So basically this is the move tool, okay. It will be, if this tool is selected, it will help you move elements on a page. So this is where you can select your frame tool, okay. So if I click on this frame right here on the left, it will show me, so this is for phone, tablet, desktop. So we're going to be creating if with a phone. So I'll just click on iPhone 11 Pro, and you see it already gives me a workspace. And because the move tool is selected, I can move it about, okay. So everything is panning out. This is the shape tool, so it contains various shapes. So we can set a rectangle, we can set a circle, this ellipse, so anyhow we want. If you want it to be a perfect circle, just press the shift key and it will be a perfect circle, okay. Then with this is the pen tool, right? So you can just add and do whatever you want with that. Okay, so that's the pen tool, but we're not going to be using that just yet. Then this is for text, so you can add text to your documents, right? And this is the hand tool to move your canvas. Okay, and then you can add comments. Okay, but then we're still going to see other things as we move on in the project. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a grid to this project. Okay, so while you have, so let me just go back to the move tool. So while you have this project selected, so I'm just going to click on this iPhone here. I'll come here and look for layout grid. So this is it right here, and I'll click on the plus icon beside it. So it has added a grid, but this is not the kind of grid I want. So I'm going to click on here, grid settings. I'll change this to column, and I would increase this to 6. Okay, and that's fine. So basically what this grid will help me do is it will help me arrange my content on the page. Okay, that's basically what the grid will help you do. So I can even close this now. I'm good to go. So what's the first thing? And if you want to hide the grid, all you just need to do is to click on this eyes icon here, and to hide the grid. All right, so let's get started. The first thing I want to do now is I want to start designing, and I'm going to change the color. I'm always saying the first thing. Forgive me. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of this template here. So I'll come here, I'll click on it, and I'll come to this option here, fill. I'll select this, and I'll just look for this color here, and I think this is fine. Okay, so basically I don't even want to try to go and copy and paste in the colors I used before. I'll just try as much as possible to do something similar. Okay, that's basically what I'm going to do. Okay, so I think this is fine. All right, so that's the first step. Okay, so let me come here and let's add our grid one more time. Okay, and maybe I'll change my grid to something different, or maybe I'll just increase it to like 25. Okay, yeah, so this is better. Now what do we want to do next? We want to start by adding these shapes here, right? These curvy shapes here. So I'll come here and I'll click on this to add a rectangle. So I could have easily just said R, but I just wanted you to see how it's been done. So I'll come here, I would form a rectangle. By the way, I can hide my, let me click here to hide my column. Okay, so I'll form a rectangle. Let me click on the rectangle, and then to add borders, curved borders to the rectangle, basically all you need to do is just drag this circle here, and it's going to curve the borders on the rectangle, right? Okay, so that's what we need, and then maybe I'll increase it just a little. Okay, so what I'll do next is I'm going to turn it right, and then let's drag it and then bring it somewhere here. How is this? I think this is okay. Okay, so the rectangle is outside, that's why it's behaving like this. So what we need to do is I'm just going to drag it down, and if I click outside, you see that the rectangle. So aside that, what we need to do is I'm going to change the color of the rectangle. So let me just make it, okay, so I just dragged it out a little. So I'm going to change the color to something whitish, and then I'm going to reduce the opacity. Okay, so this is more like what we have on the project, something like this. Okay, not exactly, but similar. So I can even turn it some more, and then what I'll do is I'll duplicate this and move it upwards. Okay, maybe I would undo the turning. I'll duplicate it and move it upward. So to duplicate any content, right, you can just press the Alt key and click and drag out that content. Okay, it may be something you need to practice a little before get used to it, but it's pretty easy. So I'm just going to leave this like this and I'll select. Okay, so see, also the second triangle has gone outside, so I'm just going to drag it down and that's fine. Okay, so what do we want to do next? We want to start designing from top to bottom. So we'll start by adding this notification, the time, the Wi-Fi, the battery and stuff like that. So let's come back here and I'm going to introduce you to plugins. So plugins are basically just packages that extend the feature of Figma or add more features to Figma. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'll just click on this hamburger icon here and I'll come down to plugins and I'll come to manage plugins. As you can see on my installed plugins list, I have a number of plugins. I'm going to tell you the one we're going to use. So we're going to use the font awesome, we're going to use the photos and the logo creator. So but how do you install a plugin on Figma? To install a plugin, click on community. So if you look at this menu here on the left, click on community and most likely it will be on file. So click on plugins and then you can just search for a plugin. So I'm just going to search for fonts awesome. Okay, so you see it has searched for, oh, I need to press enter. I didn't press enter. So you see it brings up font awesome and I already have font awesome installed, so I don't know why it's not showing installed here, but that's fine. I already have it installed. So go ahead and install font awesome and photos plugin, and then the last one, icon creator, logo creator rather. All right, so let's go back to our design. Now to use the plugin, I need to right click and then I need to come to plugins and then I'll just say font awesome. It's going to load the plugin and then you can search for whatever icon you want. So the first one is battery. Let's select that and then I can even drag, ouch, I can select this and drag it up. And then the next one is, so I'll right click again, I'll go to plugins, but since I just used font awesome, basically I can just use a shortcut and say Control Alt and P and then it will open font awesome and then I'll search for Wi-Fi. I'll select that, I'll open it one more time, I'll search for signal and I'll select that as well. Okay, so let's come here and move that upwards and let's do the same for this. Okay, so now is a very good opportunity for us to use our grid to do our design. So I'll click on the iPhone here and all my designs are going outside of the frame, so basically I'm just going to drag them in and I'll drag it in. I'm going to rename this frame to splash container, so let me just do that quickly. So I can just double click on this and say splash screen. Okay, all right, so this is a very good opportunity for us to add our grid. So let me click on splash and let me just add my grid. I'll make it visible so we can use it to adjust the images, but I think it's fine like this for now. So let me just drag out. I need to click on this and move it closer, and so all right, then we need to change the color. So I'll click on this, I'll come here, select fill, and I'll make it white. I'll do the same for this guy, fill, white, and for the battery, fill and white. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some text. So I would turn off the grid, and to add text that will say 8:40 a.m. I'm just going to click on T, right, and let's just drag this out. Okay, and then I'll just say 8:40 a.m. so that's capital letter. All right, so I would Control A to highlight it all, and let's come here. So on this right panel here, first off, I'm going to change the font to Open Sans, and then I'm going to change the color. So let me just scroll down. Okay, so fill, and I'm going to make it white, so you see that, and I think it's fine like this. I think it's fine like this. Okay, maybe I'll remove the space. I don't need the space. Okay, so this is better. Now let's see how this would look in an iPhone. So basically just come to the right here and click on play, and it's going to open that in a new tab. Okay, so this is how it looks on an iPhone, and it's not quite aligned properly. So let's fix that. So let me come back to my design, and I'm going to select this. I'm going to click on shift and click on the icon, and you see that it selected both of them. I'll click on shift and click on the other icons. Okay, what I want to do now is I want to align them horizontally, so or vertically rather. So I'll come here and let's just see. So this is align top, so this is align vertical center. I'll click on this and it will align each one of them like so. Okay, so yeah, so it looks better. Let's see. So it looks better now, except maybe I can make the icons smaller. So I'll probably just come here and make all of the icons a bit smaller. So let me just do, or I can just come here and do a height of 20 as well. Okay, and maybe I'll make this 18, and I'll just replicate that for the other ones. Okay, and for the battery as well, 18. Okay, so I'll just move this guy up a little, and like so, and like so, and then I'm also going to move this up a little. Okay, so you notice that there is excess space here on after the AM. So basically to get rid of that, all you need to do is just come down here and select this auto width. Okay, and to adjust the width. Okay, so let's go ahead one more time and shift and select everything. I'll press the shift key and select on it. Oh, okay, and then I would vertical align it. So I can do that with Alt V as well. Okay, so everything is vertically aligned. If you come here now, you see that it displays better. All right, so what's the next thing we need to do? We need to add this image, right? Okay, so let me add my grid first to see how everything displays. So I'll add my grid, and I think it's okay like this, but you can definitely make it better, right? So now to add your image to this, it's an SVG image, and I got that SVG image from a website called undraw.co. So this is undraw.co, and let me just show you what the homepage looks like. So initially when you come to the homepage, this is what it looks like. You can go ahead and click on browse now, and it will open the website. The interesting thing is that you can actually select here and adjust the color of the SVGs to suit the color of your website, okay, or your design rather. Okay, so but I already downloaded an image, so I really don't need to download another one. Okay, now when you download an image from undraw.co, so you can just click on download. Basically I'll just come here and open that image, and then I'll drag that image on top of my design, so just like so, and that's it. So let me shrink this. So I'll press Ctrl and I'll scroll down, and then I can come here, press Shift to maintain the vertical and horizontal alignment of the image, and then I'll reduce it. Okay, I'll go ahead and drag it somewhere here just to be sure. Okay, so let's increase this a little. So I'm sure you know what I just did. I used the hand tool to move it, or you can just press the space bar and then the hand tool will just, automatically come out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to align this horizontally to the center. Okay, so I think it's at the center now because of the red line, but another way to do that is just to come here and press align horizontal centers, and that's it. Okay, so what's the next thing we need to do? We need to add a logo. All right, so we need to add this logo. Okay, now to add the logo, we're going to use the next plugin. So let me right click and I'll go to plugins, and I'll use the logo creator. So if you don't have this plugin, go ahead and install it. So let me just click on it. Okay, and I'm just going to select the standard logo, and I'll just look for the particular one I need. Oh, I haven't found it. Why? Oh, this is it here. I'll click on the plus icon to add it, and then I can close this. Okay, so let me just go ahead and drag it to the center, but I need to resize it. So I'll just press the shift key, and then I'll drag it down, up. Okay, so this is fine, and then I'll drag it somewhere here. So just make sure that it's center aligned. I'll click on this. Okay, so let's come back, click on this, and let's come to our editing panel here, our design panel, and I'll change the color from linear to solid, and this is for the first one. Let's just make it white. I'll select the second one, I'll change it to solid, and let's make it white because it's for this one. And then for the third, I'll click on this and I'll also change it to solid, and I'll maintain this color. So we're done with the logo very fast. Okay, but I mean, if you have a logo, you can always import that into your project. Okay, now what's the next thing we need to know? We need to add this content here and then this button, so that shouldn't take us much time. So this is connect UI app. So just come here, come to text, which you can easily come to by just pressing T, and then come here and drag your text. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say connect UI app. Okay, now let's select that and let's change the fill color to white. Okay, and then let's increase the font size. Let's make it bold. Oh, it's already bold. Let's increase the font size, and let's give it auto width. So let's also center it horizontally. So but we still need to increase the size one more. Oh, and I want to make it what's the name, open sans. Okay, it's already open sans, so I'm just going to increase it some more. Okay, I feel like these things need to go up. Everything needs to go up some more. Okay, so maybe what I'll just do is I'll just push everything up some more. So I'll just highlight everything and move them up a little, so that's fine. Now what do we need to do next is we need to add the text. Okay, so let's see this text here, right? So basically I'm just going to come and click on text one more time, and then I'll add some text space, and basically the text simply says, this is definitely too big, and let me just make it white while I'm at it, and let me make it normal. So that's for this guy here. I'll make it regular. Okay, so let me then say, of course I would like to do this. Okay, so this is better. So this is the best. Okay, I guess I shouldn't have actually made this guy auto width. Okay, I need to drag that in back. Okay, so the best social media platform for people who want to connect with one another, then I'll then go to the next line and say click the button below. Click the button below. Okay, so that's fine really. So let's align it to this horizontally to the center, and let's reduce the font size a little. Let's move it upwards a little as well. Okay, so except that we need to also shrink this guy. Oh, if we shrink it, I think let's just reduce the size of this guy and place it horizontally in the center. Okay, all right, so this looks better. Now what's the last thing we need to do? We need to add a button. Now to add a button, essentially what you need to do is you just need to, the kind of button we're adding, okay, so there are different ways you can add a button, but the kind we're adding, we're just going to first of all add a rectangle. So I'll just press the R key, and then I would start my rectangle here. Okay, and I'll take it down to the end. Okay, let's move it up a little, so that seems fine. And let's give it a background color, a fill color of white, right? And let's give it a border radius. So I'm just going to come, so this is the border radius here. Let's just increase it to 5. I can just select this and press 5 and enter. So you see that there is some curves around it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add text inside of it. So I'll click here, and then I'll click the text. Oh, it's already there. I'll just say get started. Okay, now for this get started, first off, let me reduce the font size. Okay, I think that's fine. And let me So I'll press V, Control Z, escape first, and then I'll just place it in the center. Okay, so it's properly centered here now. All right, so let me select it and change the color to blue. So I've selected it, and I'll come to fill, and I'll just choose this color I've used. So any color you used before is going to be one of the colors you find here, right? I'll just click on this and I'll click on outside, and that's fine. So let's go ahead one more time and see what we've done so far, right? So you see, this is basically what we've done so far, and it looks similar to this. Okay, all right, so we've built the first page. Now let me introduce you to creating components, right? So basically a component is actually a group of elements on a page. So for example, all of these notifications here, right, the Wi-Fi, battery, and the time, I can group them and make them a component. What that will mean is that if you change them here, any other place that they are, being used, is going to, that change is going to be applied. So let me just, I'll just give an example. So I'll just give an example. So what I'll do is I'll just click on this, I'll press shift and click on this, and like so, and like so. And first off, let's group them. So to group them, see they are selected here. To group them, what you need to do is you need to press Ctrl G, right? And I'll just rename this group. So I'll press Ctrl R to rename the group, and I'll say I can say header, or let me just say notification, right? And then to make them a component, I'll just click on this icon here, create components. So I've made them a component. Now let me go ahead and duplicate this page. To duplicate a page, right, I'll first of all click on this splash screen up, and then I'll press Ctrl D. So you see I've duplicated the page. That's one way. I'll press Ctrl Z, and I'll click on the splash screen one more time. I'll press Alt, and just drag it out. That's the second way you can duplicate. So let me move this guy out here. Now if I change the color of this time, it would also change here. Why? Because I've made this guy a component. So if you create a component, when you change that component, the changes will be applied on all the duplicates. So let's see that. So I'll come here. If you've created a component, you need to press Control to select a member of that component. So that's what I just did. I pressed Control and I clicked on it. Now let me change this to, I'm just going to change the text. So see, hello, you see it's also changing here. Okay, so that's what component actually does. It helps us to create a structure so that when we change it in one place, it's changed across every other duplicate. So if you had, like, let's say like 20 pages or 20 prototypes, you're not going to be able to start changing one thing in the 20 places. So that's why it's important to create components. So let me just do Ctrl Z, and that's fine. So which other component are we going to create? The button. Okay, so I'll just select this button, and I'll press shift and select the text. So you see two of them are selected here. So first off, you group them by pressing Ctrl G, and I'll press Ctrl R to rename them. So I'll say button, and then I'll make them a component. Okay, as simple as that. Now note also that you can change the child of the component and it will not affect the component. So if I change this ATM here, it's not going to affect this one, but if I change the main component here, it will affect the children. Is that clear? Okay, I hope that is. All right, so let's go ahead and build the next page. So moving on from now, we can actually be faster because we've actually seen how Figma works. So let me click on get started, and I'll build the register page now. So to build the register page, we're going to build it from top to bottom. That's going to be pretty straightforward. So let's come to here, and first off, let's delete the things we don't need. Okay, so I don't need this image, I'll delete it. And for the splash screen, I think this is the first splash screen. Yeah, So let me see. Okay, so this is the first splash screen, this one here. I would close this guy and then I will lock it so that I don't make any changes to it. So let's start from the logo. So the logo, we need the logo and it needs to come up here and it needs to reduce in size. So I'll press shift and I'll reduce this logo, the size of the logo, right? I'll move it out a little. Okay, so that's fine. Now we also need this guy here for the button, for the text. So I'll just move it up and I'll highlight it and say register. And then I'll move this guy up also and I'll use it for the text. And for the text, I'll say we are just a few steps away. Just provide some details below to register. Okay, but I'll make it smaller because I want it to fit on 2 lines, and then I'll move it upwards just a little bit. Okay, so that's fine. Next, I'm going to add a line here. Okay, so let me just come to my rectangle tool. I can just press R and then I'll draw a line. Okay, and this line basically I am going to align it to the left. Ouch, no, not to the left. Control Z. Okay, let's style the line. So let's give it a color first. So it's going to be this color, and it's definitely going to be thicker, so I would increase the height to like maybe 3. Okay, so this is fine. And then for the border radius too, I'll make it to maybe like 10 or 20. Okay, all right, so what do we need to do next? Let's add this shape here, right, before we then add some other things. So I'll come here and I'll add a rectangle. So I'll just press R and let's just draw a rectangle. So you see the rectangle is covering everything, but don't worry, we're going to fix that. We're going to give this rectangle a white color, and I'm done with the white color. And then let's give it some radius, border radius. Okay, so let me reduce this and let me draw it out. Okay, so that border radius seems fine. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and then let's expand it. Okay, all right, so what do we need for this rectangle, right? We need to drag it down so that every other thing stays on top. So notification button, I can't even find my button. Anyway, this is my button right here. For the button, let me just go ahead and change the background color for the button. So instead of white, I'll give it this, and then for the text color inside it, instead of this, I'll give it white. Okay, and then maybe as I'm here now, I can as well change it to register. Okay, so it's not centered, so basically let's do, for the button, let's do center. Control Alt and H. Okay, so basically I just center aligned it so that with Alt and H, or you can come here and click on this center align here, horizontal align, and to center it. So basically what do we need? We need to add the email, these guys here. So email, username, password, confirm password. That's what we need to do, and we're done with these guys. So let's come here and add another rectangle. So I'll click on R, and then I would add a rectangle. Okay, So this seems fine. Okay, so this seems fine. For the rectangle, let's give it a border radius of 5. Let's give it a fill color of something light. Okay, something like this. And then let me introduce you to another thing, stroke. So stroke is like the in CSS, stroke is the border. Okay, so I would click on stroke. I'll select this and I will then choose one of the colors we've used before, but I'll reduce the opacity so that it's not too bright, it's not too sharp. Okay, so that's stroke for you. Now what do we need? We need to add placeholders. So to add a placeholder is a text, and the first one is email. So I would come here and say text, or I can just press T and then I can just select it, create a text box inside here, and then I'll say email. This is definitely too big, so let's reduce it. Let's reduce the boldness, remove the boldness, sorry, and let's move it upwards. So Control Z, we're supposed to move the text, not the. Okay, so let me just move it somewhere here and give some space for the icon. Okay, so let me click outside. So this seems fine. Okay, maybe I need to move it just a little. Okay, and so this seems fine. Now I want this to be a little bit faded, so I'll click on it and I'll come to fill, and then I'll reduce the opacity to make it faded. Okay, like a placeholder. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so what do we do next? Let's duplicate these guys. First off, let's group them. Now you may want to ask, why are we not adding the icon before grouping them? That's because the icons are different. We have to add the icons individually. So I would select this, I'll press shift and select this thing, and I'll press Ctrl G to group them, and I'll name it input. Oh, I need to press Ctrl R first to rename it. So input field. Okay, so that's fine. So what do? We want to duplicate the input field. Just press Alt and drag the input field down, and then press Alt again and drag it down, and then one more time drag it down. So you see that once you start designing, the process becomes faster. Okay, so what we need to do now is I need to move these guys down a little bit. So I can maybe just press shift and select this, shift select, and then I can just press the downward arrow to move it down a bit. Okay, so that's it. I may need to increase the width a little. So this is it. I think this is fine. What do we need to do next? Let's change the text inside of it. So I'm going to change this to, I'll press Ctrl to select the text inside, and then I'll change it to user. Ouch. So if I say user, let me just come here, and so it's currently text align center. I'll do text align left, right? I'll say username, and then I would escape and move it to align with this guy, and then here I would say password. Oh, Control and select, and then let's escape and move it out to align, and then here let's say confirm password. Okay, so first off, let's give it auto width, and then let's align left, and then let's move it to be aligned with the others. Okay, so last we need to add two things. So we need to add icons, and then the text already have an account sign in. So you already know the drill about adding icons. So just right click and click on plugins and font awesome icons, The first one is, I think, email, or let me just search for mail, and this is the one I used. Okay, so I don't want to spend so much time on this icon, so I'm just going to, just be fast with them. So basically I want to align this guys to this email to be centered here. Okay, so what I can do is I can select the box here, and then I'll press shift and select the email icon, and then I can come here and say vertical align center, and it will center the email on within this icon. Okay, so that's basically what I just did. And then I'm going to change the color of the email, so that would be, I think, selection color, and then I'll make it this color I've used before. So that's it basically. Now what do we need to do? Let's add for the username and the password. So I may as well just pause this tutorial so that it's not too long, and then I'll add for the username and password. So let me just do that quickly. All right, so I'm done with the adding the remaining icons. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to add the text that says already have an account. So let me just click on text, and I will just drag that here, and I'll just simply say, okay, let me align this to the left. I'll say so, let me just reduce this already. Already have an account, sign in. So first off, let's change the color of this to view color, and let's do this color, and let's reduce the opacity a bit. Okay, then let's come for the sign in itself and make it bold. Yeah, so that's fine. Okay, so that's basically what we have. So we are done with the second page. Now what we're going to do is we are going to, don't forget that if you want to make some of these things components, you can do them right here. Okay, so that if you change any of the settings from here, they get changed on across board. Okay, so let's duplicate this page. So to duplicate this page, basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select the splash screen, I'll press alt, and then I'll drag this one out. So this is what I'm going to use for my login, and that's going to be very straightforward. So I'll just come here, I'll change this to login, and then I'll change this text to enter your username and password to log in. Okay, so that's fine. And then what I need to do is I'll get rid of the email, so that's delete, and I'll get rid of the confirm password, and then I'm going to change this text to don't have an account, register. So I'll just edit this guy. So don't have an account, and I'll just say register. Okay, so basically what we need to do is we need to move these guys down. Okay, so I'm just going to, ouch, Control Z. I'm going to select this guy and move it upwards, just, ouch, Control Z. I thought I made this a component, but so I'll move these guys upward. Okay, so to make sure it's properly centered on horizontally, I'll press alt and H, and then I'll move this guy upward as well, and I'll also press alt and H to center it. So basically we are done with the login page. Ouch, something is missing. We got rid of, I don't know what we did with the text under the login page here. I don't know. I think we got rid of it, but basically I can just duplicate this one here. I'll press Alt and then I'll just drag it here. I don't even know when I got rid of that text, but anyway, enter your username and password to log in. Okay, yeah, so I think we're done. We're definitely done with this page. So the last page is we need to create the profile page, which is this page here. Okay, and it's pretty straightforward as well. So let's come here and I'll just press tab and I'll drag this out. Okay, then I would just duplicate this. So I'll click on this plus screen here. Oh, I should even rename some of these things I'm doing. So for this one is the login page. I'll come here and I'll rename it. I can just press Ctrl R to rename it to login page, and I'll hit enter. I'll close it and then I can lock it. And I think for the second, I've actually done, like, I've mixed up a lot of things here. I should have renamed it immediately I was doing it. So, but that's fine. I'll just leave that and come back to it later. So let's duplicate this page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the login page. I'll hit the Alt key and then I'll drag it. Oh, I've locked it. I'll unlock it. I'll click on the login page, hit Alt key and drag it out. Okay. And then maybe I can lock it again. Oh no, I need to rename this. So I'm going to rename this and call it profile page, right? Maybe just profile. All right, so for this one, basically what do we need? We don't need this logo, so I'm going to get rid of the logo. Then we don't need this one. We don't need all of this. So basically we don't need quite a number of all of this, so I'm just going to get rid of them. Yeah. Okay, so for the, we also don't need this guy. All right, so for this shape here, this rectangle here, I'm just going to shrink it in, and yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do. And maybe I'll move it up a little. Okay, and then I'll drag it down so it covers everything. Okay, so what do we want to do first? We want to add an icon here that will say back. Okay, so I would use Font Awesome. So I'll just come and go to plugins and I'll click on Font Awesome. And I think one, okay, so this is one. Let me just search for it. Let me say arrow. Okay, so I think this one is fine. So this back arrow here. So let's drag it here. Let's make it white. So I don't want to spend too much time because I think I've already spent so much time on the project. So I'm just going to reduce the size and I'll make it white. And then I'm going to add some text that will say setting. So let me just click on the text icon and add some text here. Make everything white. Okay, this text, let's let's increase the size a little, and let's center it, align it. So first off, let me give it auto width, and let's center it. Okay, so that's fine. Now what we want to do is we want to add an image. So this image here, I'm going to show you a trick that we use in Figma to add this kind of image, like a profile kind of picture. So to come here, right, we're going to draw a circle. So I may as well get rid of this. Well, I can actually use this later, so let me just hold on. I won't get rid of it yet. So but to add an image, basically come here and click on ellipse, and then hold your shift key to make it a perfect circle, and then drag it out. Okay, so this seems fine, right? And let's center it, so Alt H, and then right click on it and go to plugins, and I'll go photos. So this is photo, so it's a little bit heavy, so it takes maybe a little bit more time to load. So I'm just going to search for profile, and basically I'm just going to look for any picture I see that is nice, preferably a lady's picture. But if I can't find a lady's picture, I'll just use a guy's picture, anyone I see. Okay, let me check Pixabay. Okay, let me just use this one. So you see that the picture is placed inside of the circle. So that's one way you can just place a picture inside of a circle. There are different ways you can do that, but I just chose this one. Okay, then I would like to just get rid of this and add a new text, okay, to make things fast for me. So what I want to do is I want to add the name of this person under here. So I'll just click on T and I'll just drag it out here, and then I'll say I'm going to add the name, this name here, and let's just make it white. And let's increase the size a little. Well, maybe not the size, maybe we need to make it semi bold, and we need to give it auto width. Okay, so this is fine, and then let's center it with Alt H to center it. So that's Alt H. Okay, and basically we are done with this initial aspect. So what we need to do is we need to add the menu, this menu options here. Okay, and then this footer last place. So to add the menu options, we are going to just quickly add a horizontal line, or let's start with the text. So I can simply just duplicate this guy here. So Alt and let's change the color first from white to something dark. So that's fine. And then I'll come here and change it to home. Okay. So first order of business is to move it towards here, and then let's add an icon. So right click and go to Font Awesome, plugins, Font Awesome, and then right here we have this icon. So let's grab the icon and drag it in. Okay, so maybe I would increase the size of this some more. So I'm actually using a shortcut. It's Control Shift and the greater than sign. Okay, and then for this one I'll change the color. So I would say something like, oh, I can't see what I'm doing, so I need to take this out. It's going to be dark anyway, so okay, so that seems fine, but then let's reduce the size also. So I'll say something like maybe 10, and also 10 here. Okay, So it's very this is too small, so let's just do something like 15 and 15 as well. Okay, so this is better. Next, let's add a horizontal line under it. So I'll come and I'll just press, I think it's H. Okay, rectangle, sorry. So let's just add a rectangle here, and let's center it. For the rectangle, let's give it a color, same hash color, something hash. Okay, so this seems fine. Oh, let's just make it a bit darker. And then I'll reduce the height to maybe like 2. Okay, so basically let's just duplicate these guys. So I'll select this, I would also press shift and select this, and I would align them vertically to be on the same line. Okay, and then I would just select the 3 of them, so shift and the last one, and then I would press alt and duplicate it one more time. Okay, and then I'll press alt again and duplicate it one more time, and then I'll do that again and again. I think that's all. So 1 2 3 4 5, I think it's 5. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Oh, 6. And then I'll do it one more time. Okay, so basically what do we need to do? I'll just change this to messages, and I'll change this to friends, and I'll change this to change password, and I'll change this to support, and then I'll change this to sign out, but then I'll make it bold. Oh, it was bold before. And then I'll change the color to red, so fill color, and I'll select red, and then that's it. Okay, so I may want to make these other ones not normal font. Okay, so for the last part of the project, we are going to add the footer section. So we're going to add another box right here, and this box, basically we're going to add text and icon. So let me just get the text, and I just want to be fast so that we can round up, and then I'll say home. Let's change the color to something. Oh, we're even going to have to change the color of the background to something light, something like this. And then for the color of the text, we're going to change it to something dark. Okay, so this looks fine. So let's give it auto width, and let's just drag it a little bit here. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this text, so alt, and then I'll drag out of it. I'll center this one, and then I'll duplicate this one, and like so. Okay, and then I would highlight, okay, I'll highlight the second one and make it activity, and then the third one I'll make profile. Okay, I would select the 3 of them, so let me escape. I'll shift and select the 3 of them, and I'll make sure that they are center aligned, horizontally aligned. Ouch, Control Z. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that they were okay. I need to press shift and select this guy. I just need to do this manually so that I don't waste so much time. So let me just adjust it, and yeah, so it's centered. The last thing we need to do is we need to add icons on top of this. So I'll right click and I'll go to Font Awesome, so plugins and Font Awesome, and then the first one is Home. I'll click on this and this is it here. I'll drag it here. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I would add another icon, and this one is going to be, I can't remember exactly what I used, but maybe I'll just use something. I'll just use this one, okay, but I know it's not exactly this one. I'll just use this one, and then I'll move it here on top, and then I would add the last one, which is profile. So that's user, which is this guy here, and then I will just drag it here. Okay, so basically what is left is just to change the color. So I'll just click on this and I'll change the fill color to this guy, and I'll do the same for this one, fill color, this one, and then for the user, I'll change the fill color to same. Okay, so basically we are done with the design. Okay, so let's come to Figma here, oh sorry, Figma here, and then we can, oh, we've created so much and it's really interesting. Okay, so but what we need to do is we need to do what is called a prototype. Okay, so we've already spent 1 hour plus, so let me just round up. Now prototype is just a way for you to link one page to another. So for example, this get started button, I want it to move to register, right? So what do? I'll create a prototype. So I'll come to this my left panel, right panel here, and I'll select prototype, right? And I would start by clicking on where I want to set the prototype. So supposing I wanted to set my prototype on this button, I'll click on this button. So let me click on the prototype one more time. Oh, I need to open, so I locked the splash screen initially. By the way, my files here, I didn't pay any attention to them. They are just so scattered. But maybe in another video, in another tutorial, I would, talk about file arrangement and stuff like that. But I know that these files are very scattered. Okay, but it's okay. So prototyping, I'll click on prototype and I'll select what I want to link to another page. So I want to link this button to this page. I'll select this and then I'll just drag this to this page, and that's it. Okay, so you can choose how you want the transition to be. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to, let's say, slide, right, I will just select this animation here and I'll say slide in. Okay, so that's what the transition is going to be like. Let me see, I know I've messed up quite a lot here, but I'm going to click on the get started and you see that it slides in the register button. Okay, so I'll just come here. So if you want to do from the register page, for example, if you want to link to, let me reduce this, if you want to link from the register page to the profile page here, or this settings page, basically all you need to do is just to click on prototype and then select this register and then drag it to, so let me just drag it to this profile page, right? And then if you come here and you click on register, it will move to the profile page. So essentially that's how you link up your pages. Okay, so I can come here to this sign in down here and link it up to this page. So of course this one register here should actually be sign up. Okay, all right, so basically we are done with the project. Okay, and so we've been able to see that by practicing, you can actually use and learn most of the tools and most of the elements in Figma. All right, so if you're not subscribed to my channel, I want you to hit the subscribe button and I want you to leave a like on this video. So thank you so much and see you in another one.